All right, welcome. This is Battle for the Ardennes SPI from 1978. We're playing the Clervaux scenario, and we are now at turn 11 and the Allied turn. And here comes, I believe it's Third Corps, Third Army. The rest of it, we already got CCA and CCB of 4th Armored last turn. Basically, CCB blocked the German panzers trying to drive up this road, and CCA reinforced Bastogne, so this unit, CCA of the 9th, could come out and screen this Volksgrenadier trying to flank it here. But this turn I've pretty much lined up all the reinforcements here. Pretty much an end to the German advance, and I'm going to go ahead and play out this turn, but looking at the points, we're probably looking at an operational victory for the Allies. And I'll try and do a summation at the end, but let's go ahead and at least do turn 11 for the Allies. So if we look at the sequence of play, first we've got supply, and nobody has supply problems. Yeah, they're out through here, and the Germans are back through here, so supply is good for everybody. No air power build segment for the Allies, can't build anything here. They can't build anything because they're adjacent to enemy units, so there is no build. Battery segment, only one artillery unit on board, and it's in battery, providing final protective fire, and it did provide fire for a counterattack a few turns back. Mode adjustment, this guy. Okay, so he is no longer in travel mode, march mode, I think that's the proper term. All these reinforcements, well, obviously they're going to come in march mode, but we'll just stack them when they come. So all of that is out of the way, and we're at the U.S. movement. So we do have a lot of movement for the U.S., mainly these reinforcements. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at that, and we'll be right back. All right, Allied move is done. We'll just work from the north. Basically didn't do much up here with the already in place. I mean, they're pretty much solid. We've only got one turn left, so, and each place has 3 steps at least. And this one's solid too. Yeah, 3 steps, pretty strong. I did slip in another armored unit here, CCR of the 4th moves in here, which then allowed me to pull the 101st unit out. Basically, I'm worried about this flank. There's no reinforcing them. So I'm trying to pull units out, and we also see this guy, got an artillery unit, and this guy. They all are shifting over here to give me capability to cover here, which is pretty much closing the door for the Germans. I mean, nobody can get off the board pretty much at this point, since next turn is the last turn, but, you know, if this continued, this would allow me to shut that here, so this is all pretty strong, good to go. These spearheads, I could take advantage and pretty much surrounded them. These panzers are stuck now. The Germans would have to attack to try and free them. Moved up an entering unit here again to screen this road and put this guy back in reserve. And I figured, what the heck, for this far division here, let's see if we can roll up this flank here. If I do my calculations right, the U.S. is 1 point away, so threaten this hacks. I don't see it happening, but just one more headache here. Thought we'd do an attack. So pretty much let's go ahead, and that's what we're going to do here. And I've got 24, which is 5 to 1. I've got divisional integrity. Oh wait, I don't. I couldn't get all 3 of these. They're all coming in here. They couldn't get there, so it's a 2 to 1 in light woods. Let's see if we even want to do it. Although we can do it next turn. Light woods 2 to 1. They'll lose a step on a 1 or 2, and otherwise I could lose a step on a 5. Um, yeah, I didn't really know what to do with this guy here. Let's just go ahead and do it, and we'll even live on the edge and use the vassal die roller. So again, that's, wait, it's 5 to 1. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 18, 20, 4 is 5 to 1, down 2 is 3 to 1 in light woods. So let's see what this vassal die roller does. Oh gosh, fine. I clicked it. The Germans lose a step. So the question is, they can retreat. Oh, they'll just, of course, if they lose a step, they're down to, or they could retreat 1, which would be right there. And then the U.S. would continue their attack. This guy next turn could slip up here. I think that's what they'll do. So that pretty much ends the U.S. turn. At this point, the question is it even worth doing the German turn? Now, basically the only way they could win or bring it close is take Bastogne, reinforcing this to 14. And this is the only unit that can attack. 4, 4 is 8 is 13, and 9 is 20. It's going to be a 1-to-1 down 2. So there's no way they can take Bastogne and get that point shift. It's now physically impossible, even if this unit was here, to get these guys off the map. If this unit wasn't here, well, you know, they could go, if these units weren't here, they could go in travel mode, but they can't, so it's a moot point. They were trying for this to get off the board, so they can't do that. So basically, if the current victory point right now, actually the U.S. is going to get 10 mech units, Germans, minus the 4 is 6. They're going to get 6 victory points. So the U.S. final count is 25. The German final count is 13. They can't kill any units to change that. So literally, they almost got a 2-to-1. 13 times 2 is 26. The U.S. has 25. So they're in the 1.5 to 2.0. So I believe that is an operational victory for the U.S. So here we go. Like I said, the final count is 25 to 13, just under 2-to-1. So a ratio of 2-to-1 or better is strategic. 1.5 to 1 or better is operational. So there you go. So the Allied U.S. wins. There was a time there in the middle game when I was losing battalions I shouldn't have, that I was worried. But literally just in time, the 101st arrived, and these engineers' fortress improved positions they built were just in time too. So, you know, it was close. I think I could have improved my German play, more aggressive, move faster. I mean, they were 1 turn too late for taking Bastogne, 1 turn too late for opening here, 1 turn too late even here. So yeah, it was, and then these withdrawals didn't help out, but that's what happened in real life. This truly wasn't the main axis of attack. It was further north around St. Vith. This was more to guard the flank, but still. So I would say, just in hindsight, well, first off, the game itself is a solid game. For 19, I mean, it's still a solid game, and the replayability is solid. We got 3 scenarios from Bastogne. We got this one, Clervaux. We got the St. Vith one, and the Selles up here, where you're trying to get across the Meuse as the Germans, and then put it all together. So the campaign, if I do play this again, I would probably try the campaign, and that doesn't even mention Sedan. That's probably a whole 1940. You got a scenario and a campaign. And the rules, they're good. They've got just the right amount of chrome. There's enough going on here. Good decisions, challenging. That's probably why this game is, I don't know if it's called a classic, but it's definitely one that if you read on the BGG site, people come back to every year to try. I would love to come back to this. Maybe in May, I will pull this back out and try Sedan, just because that's when it happened, and I think it was May in 1940, fall of France. Probably a whole new dimension there. Um, so yeah, this is a solid game, and maybe I'll pull out the campaign game as we get closer to the end of this year again. So that would be awesome. So just to sum up, um, onerous of attack is on the Germans. They got to move fast. These withdrawals are not going to have all this firepower for long, so they got to move really fast. And the main thing is open up a path to get off the board between these two hexes. And this looks like the easier flank to turn on Bastogne. I mean, if they can take Bastogne, all bets are off from a victory point of view. So move as fast as possible and try and get to Bastogne before the 101st. That's what it boils down to. But beyond that, it's pick a flank. It looks like, in my mind, this flank would be harder to turn just because of these heavy woods here. So probably this way. And this is probably the better way to get off the board if you can come through these. This wasn't ideal because then you're going to run over non-road hexes here. But yeah, this is where the game is won, getting off the board and potentially taking Bastogne. Down here, I mean, you could make points. I mean, if you can pick up Luxembourg City or Arlon because the U.S. is messing up. There was a time there I was worried about that. I mean, that's 2, 4, 6 points. Those are the only cities on the board. Otherwise, it's just picking up villages. But if you can move fast enough again, and you can shut down this road, it becomes very hard for Third Corps, Third Army, to push through and relieve Bastogne if you've been aggressive here. So I think it's winnable as the Germans. The tougher side is the Germans, and you got to attack fast. The U.S., they've got to just delay, 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 and as I learned earlier, not let Germans get behind your units and kill them. I lost a lot of those battalions from the beginning, and the only thing that saved me was literally the reinforcements showing up on time here. So, yeah, this is a good experience. Definitely want to come back to this. Like I said, maybe mid-year, take a look at Sedan. Towards the end of the year again, revisit. And actually, next time it'll probably be a lot more involved to bring in, the St. Vith side. Either play that scenario and/or go for the campaign game for Battle of Bulge. So we'll see. But anyway, for those of you who have followed my series now, I'm going to go ahead and end it here at turn 11 because there's really nothing the Germans can do. They can't get anybody off this board. They flat out don't have the movement points now. They're not going to take Bastogne. It's too strong. And this is, well, at this point, this is a sideshow. The reinforcements are on, and pretty much they've stopped the Germans short of taking this road here. And there's even the beginnings of a counterattack potentially here. I know at the end there was a debate. Do we cut it off? Ideally, the cleanest thing is cut it off at the base, but they decided for the mid pinch and squeeze back in. But, maybe this could be the beginning. There's a whole infantry division coming in here. P. Yeah, that kind of looks like the mid pinch. They can rack it up here. I mean, next turn, if the U.S. could get one more victory point, they would have a strategic victory. But again, this attack had to have occurred if they were going to threaten here. And even then, the Germans could have stopped them. And there's really nothing here. They could get victory points from killing German units, but the only way, well, here, but they've got a retreat route, so they really can't kill these units with a counterattack. So, yeah, I think that's it. There's no reason to continue on here. Played it to turn 11 out of 12. Makes me wonder too. This guy comes in on turn 11, but there's no way to use him, to be honest. The only way you'd probably use him is if it was 1, 2, 3 and he wasn't in march mode. If the Germans had gotten this far. Because next turn he can't, you come out of travel mode or march mode after the battery segment, so there's no way in heck to use this guy unless he just comes in normal movement here and then he's limited to right here. And then these three, they can be in march mode. They could put out some fires here. I could use them to attack. There's a penalty for that though. So they're probably usable here. They can't get down here, so. Anyway, that's it. It is a U.S. operational victory, and the key thing is they prevented the German mech units from bypassing Bastogne and getting off the map board. But it was kind of close here, So, but Bastogne was solid, and the defenses were built in time. The 101st showed up in time, so they were able to prevent that from happening. So, that's it. If you liked it, click like. Any final comments or comments on strategy or comments on my comments on strategy, feel free. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Probably my next video along this line is I'm trying to figure out what to do next. So I may post a short video on that, things I'm thinking of, and give you all a chance to give me some feedback, maybe to what to pick there. But again, thumbs up for this Battle for the Ardennes, SPI 1978. Pretty fun game. There's just enough chrome to make it feel, not just a simple Battle of the Bulge game. So definitely recommended. Anyway, but thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one.